Hello and welcome to Norway. Today's episode is coming to you from Norway. I've got today and then one more day left and then I'm going back home. So I thought I would film this before I leave Norway. It's incredibly hot, very hot. Wasn't prepared for quite how hot it was going to be. I have finished something, I've started something else, I bought some yarn and we've had some days out and I've been to a couple of yarn shops. So I'm going to share all that in today's episode. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Subscribing, commenting and liking helps me a lot to grow my channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your support. It's been incredibly hot since I've been in Norway. May can be a bit changeable, a bit like the UK. I wasn't prepared for it to be this hot. Normally I would say it's probably like high teens if you're lucky. Last time I went to Norway in May, it was 16 years ago, and it was freezing, absolutely freezing. While I was traveling here, I was knitting on my sock. So I bought, this is the second sock. I brought the first sock because I thought I would probably finish this one. And I like to wear socks every night because my feet get really cold, even when it is hot. My feet get really cold. So I get cramp if my feet get cold. So I always wear knitted socks at night. And I brought one pair with me, but I thought I might finish these. So I brought the first of this pair with me as well. Anyway, I haven't finished it. When I left home, I was probably, that's the rib, I was probably by here. So I've done the rib, which is I think 25 rounds, and then the rest is garter rib. So it's one round of knitting and one round of knit two, purl two rib. So while I was traveling here, I knitted all this, got a lot of knitting done. I did a few rounds the other day when I went shopping on my own, but most of this, except for maybe like 5 rounds, I did. So, well, all this except for about 30 rounds I did on the day I was traveling. So I've got a lot of stuff done, and I was thinking about finishing it last weekend, but then I thought, no, I'm going to leave it and knit on this on the way home. I was thinking, my plan had been to buy sock yarn here to knit on the way home, but one shop I've been to, they have some quite nice sock yarn, but I didn't buy any. The other shop I went to, they didn't have any sock yarn that I really fancied. The only thing they had was the same yarn I bought last time I was here. So I didn't bother buying anything. I thought I'll just save this and knit on it on the way home. So I should finish this while I'm traveling home on Wednesday. So I'll show you that in the podcast next week. The yarn is Allegria, Monolith Uruguay Allegria in the colorway Bataclana. And it's in my online shop. So let me just put that away. So that is all ready to work on when I'm traveling home on Wednesday. I've got train from here into Oslo, another train out of the airport, flight to London, train into London, tube across London, and then train to Plymouth. I'm not going all the way to Cornwall, I'm getting off the train in Plymouth on the way home. So I've got quite a lot travelling to do. brought a skein of yarn with me because I was arriving here on a Friday. I thought if I don't have time to go to the yarn shop on the Saturday, that sock I just showed you wouldn't last me like the whole first weekend. So I thought I better take some yarn with me in case I can't go to the yarn shop on the Saturday, because I didn't know what my parents had planned. So I brought some yarn. I brought another skein of Mandels Uruguay Allegria. This is in the colourway Tutti Frutti, and it's a creamy colourway with speckles. And I just love this, and it's knitted up really nicely. I didn't know what I was going to do. I did a poll in my Instagram stories. If you follow me on Instagram, you don't look in my stories. I highly recommend you look in my stories, because I share stuff in my stories every single day, and I don't always post on my Instagram grid every single day. If you're not sure how to find my stories, if you go to my Instagram page, which is a link below, there's a thing with in the top left corner, there's a thing with my circle with my face in it. If you click on that, you'll see what's in my stories. And I asked there what shape I should knit for a 1 skein shawl, and most votes was crescent shawl. I gave the choice of triangular, crescent, asymmetrical. I think that was the choices. The choice was actually crescent. That was what most people voted for, with asymmetrical as a second. I did consider doing a crescent shawl. I don't really like doing a crescent shawl in just 1 skein sock yarn, because the way the shaping works out, I don't particularly like that. So I decided to go for the asymmetrical, because I feel like that gives you like the easiest shape to wear around your neck as a scarf. And I haven't done a shape like this for a while, I don't think. I think I've done it, but not that I've knitted myself. So I just cast on, not really knowing what I was going to do. I brought some pink beads with me, so I decided to go for this cross stitch pattern. I'm in my ends, as you can see. So I went for this cross stitch pattern with beads. So it repeats throughout the shawl at kind of irregular intervals, and then I haven't blocked this yet, so I will block it when I get home. I thought there's no point blocking it here and then folding it up to go in my suitcase. Then in the edging, I got this cross stitch row, and then I did this. I've never done this before, but I basically added like 3 beads, and I did quite like that. It's been interesting to see what it blocks out like. So this is a 1 skein asymmetrical, kind of like a peaked crescent shape, and this hasn't been blocked yet. It will be a little bit bigger when it's been blocked, but I think it's quite nice to wear as a scarf. Although it's way too hot for this. I personally prefer bigger shawls, because I'm quite tall, or you can just wear it across your shoulders. I prefer bigger shawls because obviously I'm quite tall and I'm quite big, but I used to wear a lot of 1 skein shawls. But small shawls seem to be really popular at the moment, or some of the ones I've seen are like really tiny, and they're kind of like tied around your neck, and I don't like that at all. Having stuff tied around my neck really makes me feel I'm gonna suffocate. So I'm really happy with that. I finished it. When did I finish it? Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. Before the weekend, I think. Been able to do all the things I'd hoped to do, so I've come on my own, so mainly to spend time with my parents and help them try and sort a few things out. There's been a lot of appointments and things since I've been here. So last week we had 3 days worth of appointments, and then on the 4th day I went shopping, and then Friday was a national holiday because it was Norway's national day, So Friday was a bank holiday, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then today, Monday, is also a bank holiday. And then we're probably going to go shopping tomorrow, because I went last Thursday, but my mum wasn't up to coming with me. She didn't feel well enough, so I went on my own. So we might try and go tomorrow if my mum's up to it. I did go shopping last week on Thursday, and I did buy some yarn. So let me show you the yarn I bought first. I decided I fancied making one of my clutch bags, but in crochet. So I will try and put some pictures up on the screen if you haven't seen them, but my colour clutch and my glamour clutch are both knitted, and I fancy doing a crochet one. I actually want to do one in the yarn that I sell, YarnAddict merino cotton, which is the yarn I use for the other clutches. And the yarn did actually arrive. I'd ordered a new box, some new colours and things, and they actually arrived the day before I left, but I didn't even open it because I had so much to do. So there will be some of that in the shop, maybe today, the day this video goes live, if not next week. It just depends, because I get home very late on Wednesday, so if I get time on Thursday, I will upload some in the shop. If I don't, then it will be in the shop next week, but I'll put the links and everything below. I fancy crocheting a colour clutch, but I didn't want to take the yarn with me in case I decided not to do it. I thought if this shawl takes me too long, then maybe I'll just buy a skein of sock yarn and knit socks if it was just for like the last couple of days. But I finished this last week, so I think it was Thursday I finished it. So I got some yarn to do this crochet bag. I think I bought too much yarn, so I got 2 skeins each of these colours. So this is Sandnes yarn, which is Norwegian yarn company, Mandarin Naturel, the natural mandarin. Don't know why it's called mandarin. It's 100% cotton, and it's 130 meters per 50 gram. So I got these 3 colorways, and I think probably because I know crochet uses more yarn than knitting, and my knitted clutches use glamour clutch, which is just knitting stocking stitch with beads, used 100 grams of yarn. The colour clutch used 100 grams of the main colour, and I think 60 grams of the second colour. Or was it 60 grams of the main colour and 50 grams of the second colour? I can't remember, or less than 50 grams of the second colour. But I needed 3 skeins, so I know crochet takes more, and I wasn't really sure till I started what kind of crochet pattern I was going to go for. So I decided to get 2 of each just to be on the safe side. I think probably what I will need is 100 grams of this, which is the main colour, and then just 50 grams of the other ones. So let me show you what I've done. So I had to buy a crochet hook as well, because I forgot to buy the crochet hook. So I did the base. So this thread here is just the tails that I just pulled through the base of the bag because they were getting in my way when I was starting to crochet. So I did the base in the blue, and the base is just double crochet, and then I've done this double crochet, single crochet if you're in the US, double crochet linen stitch, which I've never done before, and I'm quite enjoying it. I used to design crochet patterns. I've had crochet patterns published both in British and American magazines, but last few years I didn't crochet for quite a few years, and then I started doing blankets. I'm not really used to crocheting anything more advanced than granny squares really. So when I started this, it worked fine. So if I can, I don't know, can I get this set up? Yeah, it's starting to show its shapes. It's starting to look like a kind of bowl, if you like, and these corners are fine. This corner, which is where I joined in the new colour beginning of the round, wasn't looking the same as the other corners, and then I counted it and I realized that I gained something like 8 stitches or something just on this side. So I ended up ripping a load back. I didn't do the base again, and then I carried on. So now I'm actually counting it every single round. 2 or 3 rounds ago I found that I gained stitches again, and I went back 1 round and counted again. I still had a couple of stitches too many, so I just cheated a bit, and I think I'm managing to stick to my normal stitch count now. I had hoped to finish this before I leave, but I have tonight and then a bit of time tomorrow. We're probably going to be out most of the day tomorrow, and then I got to finish packing and stuff, so I've got a bit of time in the evening, but not a lot of crochet tomorrow, so I don't think I'm going to finish this. So I will be working on this on the way home, which is the other reason why I don't think I'm going to buy any more sock yarn, because I think I'll have this to work on the way home and my sock. I'm also worried because this obviously takes up a bit of space. I will take one of these home with me, but I think I might leave these two because I'm just really worried about space. I also am thinking I might want to buy some stuff at the airport. Basically, when you buy the cheapest ticket on YarnAddict, everything you take with you on the plane has to fit under the seat in front of you. So even though you're allowed to bring a bag of duty-free stuff or stuff you bought at the airport on board, it all has to sit and fit under the seat in front of you. And I don't know how much space is left once I put my backpack under there, because on the way here I actually thought I'm having such a long day, so I actually decided I would treat myself to an emergency exit row seat, which I did, which was great. But that means that all your bags have to go in the overhead locker, and I meant to take my backpack down to try and fit it under the seat in front of me just to see how much space it took up, and I forgot. If you have a middle aisle seat, you actually get slightly more space under the seat in front of you. Window and aisle seat gets less. I always book an aisle seat because I would just hate sitting in the middle seat. Had a bit of a drama when we were boarding. Because I had a suitcase with me, I had priority boarding, so I was probably like towards the end of the priority boarding group because I don't like being the first one on the plane. And I found my seat. There was a guy, there was a cabin crew, flight attendant there, telling everyone who was sitting in the emergency exit seat, so they had to put their luggage in the bins above the seat. There was a guy standing there. He seemed to think that he had a seat in my row, and there was a mother and daughter sitting there. The daughter was an adult, and then her mum was probably about my age, I would guess. And I'm not sure the mother spoke a lot of English, but the daughter did. And they were saying it was their seats, but then they also said, well, if you want us to move, we'll move, you know, no big deal kind of thing. And he was arguing, and then I sort of twice said, that's my seat, because the flight attendant was standing in front of my seat, and twice I said, oh, I'm sitting there. And obviously I was blocking the road, nobody could get past us. And they kept arguing back and forth, and in the end I said, excuse me, that's my seat, can I sit down? Because I got fed up. Put my stuff in the overhead bin, sat down, that was fine. This guy decided that he was sitting 2 rows in front of us. I don't know whether he ever had an emergency exit row seat, or whether he was just trying it on, but he found another seat. This older couple came on, Norwegian couple came on. They were sitting in the row in front of me. By this point, the overhead bins were quite full, so they were trying to get their stuff in. And there was space, you just had to shuffle stuff around a bit. But the husband was trying to just like push it in, and he had this backpack. It wasn't huge, thank goodness. And he was trying to push it in, and somehow he managed to drop it, and it literally didn't fall on my head. It fell straight on my face, like here. Hit my forehead and my eyes. Luckily I was wearing contact lenses, because I do when I'm traveling now, since I started wearing contact lenses. So it didn't hurt my glasses, but if I'd been wearing glasses, I think it hit me hard enough that it might have broken my glasses, or at least bent them really badly. And I didn't get an apology. He dropped it and then he just picked it up and looked at me, and I was like, and I must admit I did lay it on a bit. I sort of went, ow, because it was a shock, because I was looking at my phone, so I wasn't expecting it. And there was like no, his wife was like, are you okay? And I was like, yes, but that could have been really, you've got to be more careful. That could have been really dangerous, especially if I was wearing glasses. That would have cost a lot of money. And they were just like not appalled. If I dropped my bag on someone, I would have been like, oh, terribly sorry, are you okay? You know, can I do anything? You know, they were just like, anyway. So when I went to get my stuff, some stuff out of my bag after we took off, my knitting and things, I want to get that out of my bag. The lady had put her bags in front of mine, so I shuffled hers to the back and pulled mine out to the front, because by that point I was not in a good mood. So yeah, a bit of drama. So I forgot to take my bag down. I tried under the seat in front of me because there was so much stuff in the other overhead locker. I was worried if I took it out I wouldn't be able to get it back in again. So I'm still a bit worried about how much I can fit in under the seat in front of me. So I'm very keen not to have my backpack stuffed so full that I'm struggling to close it. So that's why I'm thinking about leaving these two behind. That's because I'm a bit worried. Plus, if I don't need them for this pouch or this glamour clutch bag, I don't think I'm going to use them for anything else. So I'll see how much I use up today and tomorrow, but I'll probably leave those two behind. I was thinking about, because I had the receipt, I was thinking maybe I'll take them with me tomorrow, because we're going to the same shopping centre, and see if I can change them for something else. I might do that. We'll see. Last week I shared 2 videos. I didn't have a podcast last week because by the time we got to the point where I would have had to film it, I hadn't really done enough knitting to have much to share, and we hadn't really done anything else since I've been here, so I didn't do a podcast last week. On Tuesday last week I had a video on 2 different ways of doing the Icelandic cast off, and on Thursday I shared a video where I cut off my the sleeve on my pink sweater. You may remember I talked about it a couple of months ago, and I showed you how I cut it off and pros and cons of what I did and how I reknitted it and stuff. So that was last week's videos. On Tuesday this week there was a video on where I talk about the differences between designing for magazines and young companies, and the differences of designing self-publishing patterns, because I've done both for, I think I worked it out, 18 years or something. Long time. So that video was out on Tuesday this week, so I'll link all those videos below and at the end of this video. So on Friday was Norway's National Day. Constitution Day is a big deal in Norway. I left Norway 34 years ago, and this is only the second time I've been in Norway for 17th of May in 34 years. So I was quite excited. Last time we were here was 16 years ago, so my daughters would have been 10 and 13 at the time. And we went into Oslo with my parents and stood on the main street in Oslo watching the parade, which goes on for hours, and it's most of the schools in Oslo and marching bands. So what you do in these parades, you get a marching band, and then you get school behind them with all the, it's usually primary schools behind them with all the classes in class groups, and everyone's waving flags and shouting hip hip hooray and all that kind of stuff. And I used to play in a marching band. I used to play a baritone horn. If I can find a picture on, I'll pop it on the screen. I decided to get up early and walk into town to watch the local parade, which started about 9:15. And they walk up to the northern end of the town, do a loop around the local nursing home, and come back down again. So I missed them. I caught the tail end of it going up, and then I waited for them to come back down. It was so hot. I mean, I was there about 9. I left here about 9 in the morning, and it was still absolutely roasting. So while I was waiting, I managed to find some shade because it was so hot and so uncomfortable. Playing in a marching band, which I did from when I was like 9 or 10, I think. I was probably about 17. And 17th of May, we used to get up at, well, we used to start playing at 6 in the morning. So we used to go around one of the housing estates in this area in the morning at 6 o'clock to wake people up. I mean, I bet people hated us for that. And then we would go to the local primary school in the town to have breakfast, and then we'd play for the parade in this town, for the main town parade, if you like. And then we would get bussed off to one of 2 local villages and play in the parade there, and then we would get like sausages and like hot dogs and ice cream and stuff. We'd finish at like, I don't know, 2, 3 in the afternoon maybe. So it used to be a really long day. The band I used to play in, which was all teenagers when I played in it, was all, I mean, to me they looked like they were still primary school kids, and a couple of adults. They were just tiny, so they might have just started secondary school, but Norwegians don't start secondary school till they're 13, and they looked younger than that. And then there was an adult marching band as well, and there was a drum one as well, so that was quite good to see. I have filmed it. I have kept some of the original audio in, and I've taken some out because YouTube is a bit funny about you sharing music for there's so many seconds I think you're allowed to share of music, otherwise it breaks copyright rules and stuff like that. So I've tried to leave some in so you can hear it, but I may get in trouble for it. I don't know, we'll see. I'll try and leave it in and see, but some of it I've kind of made it silent just so I don't get in trouble, hopefully. So I'm going to leave you with a clip from 17th of May so you can get an idea of what the local parade was like. After the parade I walked back home, and then we had a lovely dinner and we just relaxed on the balcony. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.